Hi students, welcome to the video lectures of speech and natural language processing. So today we are going to discuss about shallow parsing and probabilistic context-free grammar and dependency grammar. Let us see one by one. First we talk about shallow parsing. So shallow parsing is also called as chunking. So basically the shallow parsing, it makes us to identify the phrases which are present in a sentence. That means either it has a verb phrase or either it have a noun phrase or prepositional phrase. That is what is mentioned here. Shallow parsing, also called chunking, identifies and groups constituents like noun phrase, verb phrase, and prepositional phrases. That is NP, VP, and PP respectively in a sentence without constructing a full parse tree. So unlike deep parsing, which analyzes the entire hierarchical syntax structure, shallow parsing focuses only on the chunks. So what are the steps that we follow in shallow parsing? Is first one is tokenization, then is parts of speech tagging, third one is chunking rule, where tokenization is nothing but tokenizing the sentences into words. That means we try to break down the words which are present in the sentence. We call them as tokens. Second is parts of speech tagging, where we assign the tag for each parts of each word which is present in the sentence with its respective parts of speech. Then it's chunking rules. So apply chunking rules to group tokens into various phrases like NP, VP, and PP. That is noun phrase, verb phrase, and prepositional phrase respectively. So why do we need shallow parsing? So this is the question. So why do we need shallow parsing in natural language processing? So first one is it simplifies sentence structure analysis. So basically, when we say sentence structure analysis, so we what we try to tell here is when we have complex sentences, so generally we need to break them to understand it, right? So that is what is done here. So basically there are two things. First one we say as deep parsing, then we call as shallow parsing. So deep parsing, what is does is it tries to generate complex syntactic trees that are computationally expensive, where shallow parsing will focus only on that particular chunk, not a entire thing as deep parsing. So what happens with this shallow parsing is this simplifying the sentence structure analysis, which means it makes it very simpler and faster since it deals with only the uh, few identification of few constituents, we say, that is the few chunks. So then we have enhances the efficiency is the second point. So basically, for example, for the simplified sentence structure analysis, we can take example as the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog, right? Whereas if you apply deep parsing on this particular sentence called quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog, so it generally produces a hierarchical tree. Whereas if you apply shallow parsing, what it does is it just mentions that noun phrase is the quick brown fox, where we followed by the verb phrase that is over the lazy dog, where over is considered a preposition, and the noun phrase is the lazy dog, and all these things will be combined. Where this is how our shallow parsing approach would be. And followed by a second point is enhances the efficiency. Yes, the shallow parsing is computationally less intensive. So when compared with full parsing, that is your deep parsing. And not only that, it also tries to avoid the ambiguities which are associated with the deep parsing, and rather it focuses only on the identifying the chunks. That is the smallest part, where it makes well suited for your large scale data processing things. And then we have a third point that is useful for NLP applications such as named entity recognition, that is NER we call. Then information extraction is the another one. Then question answering is the third one. So entities already we discussed in our first unit and second unit also, where identifying the entities are nothing but it tries to identify names, locations, dates, and organizations, etc., which are present inside the sentence. That is within the chunks we should call here. For example, if you take Apple will release some iPhone in 2025 in California. So there are a couple of things in this sentence. Apple being the organization, iPhone being the product, and California is the location, and some 2025 we can consider that as a date, right? That is how entities are recognized. Then we have information extraction. So where this will helps to extract some meaningful data from whatever the text that is given. The example what we can talk for this particular information extraction can be the news articles, like any subject or actions or objects, anything it might be. So it tries to extract those key facts from the news articles. Then question and answering. So which enables the quick identification of relevant phrases that will answer a question. For example, who is the president of France? If we say, so generally it tries to shallow parse this kind of question. Who is the president of France? A question mark, right? So now the president, which is a noun phrase and the preposition is of, the noun phrase again is France. So now the system will retrieve the president of France. Understood? So that is how it helps in question and answering. Then helps in handling ambiguity also. Resolves ambiguity in sentences by focusing on phrase level units rather than full syntactic dependencies. Then steps in shallow parsing, which we have seen in our very first slide. That is tokenization. Split the sentence into words, and POS tagging. That is assigning parts of speech tags to each word. Then it's chunking rules. Apply chunking rules to group tokens into phrases like NP, VP, and PP. That is noun phrase, verb phrase, and prepositional phrase. So let us look at some examples of shallow parsing. So first sentence is the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. So now what I told you in the previous slide, we have the steps in shallow parsing. First one is tokenization. So we are doing tokenization here. So this is the given sentence. So tokenizing the given sentence, that is splitting it into the words. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. These are all the tokens which are generated from the given sentence. We term this process as tokenization. Then we are applying the POS tags here. You can see various tags have been assigned here, like determinants, noun, pronouns, adjectives, prepositions, everything. So the chunking result, that is applying the shallow parts, we get this. Noun phrase, the quick brown fox. Verb phrase is jumps. Prepositional phrase is over. And noun phrase is the lazy dog. This is the example of shallow parsing. And let us see another example too. That's a question sentence. So input sentence is, what is the capital of France? And the same principle applies here. So we had discussed about the process of shallow parsing. That is, first we do tokenization. So we apply tokenization on what is the capital of France. So the answer what we get is, the what is one token, is another token, the is another token, capital of France. All these are tokens. Then we are assigning the tags for each particular token which is there. So various tags have been assigned here. You can look at this. Then let us see the application of shallow parsing. We get this chunking result. So noun phrase is what, verb phrase is, in noun phrase the capital, and prepositional phrase of, and noun phrase France. So then we have compound sentence example. The teacher explained the concept and gave examples to the students. Now tokenize this. So tokenizing will give us the teacher explained the concept and gave examples to the students. All these are various tokens. Next, assigning of the parts of speech tagging for this particular tokenized thing. Then the result is, the teacher is noun phrase, and verb phrase explained, and noun phrase is the concept, and verb phrase is gave, and noun phrase examples, prepositional to, and noun phrase the students. So then we have another concept called the probabilistic context-free grammar, that is PCFG. So which is an extension of context-free grammar, which each production rule is assigned a probability. These probabilities help handle ambiguity in parsing by selecting the most likely parse tree. So basically, what is this probabilistic context-free grammar is? So we all know what is context-free grammar and how does that work? And applying or adding the word probability for this context-free grammar is, it's just to have the probability of the occurrence of that particular thing. So now this is the formal definition. So PCFG is defined by a phi tuple. These are all the things which you already know. And that is non-terminals, terminals, rules, start symbol, probabilities. And now if you look at this example, I'll just explain you this. So we have some production rules, right? So those production rules are mentioned here if you see. So the first production rule is a sentence shall have a noun phrase followed by verb phrase. This is your context-free grammar in example which I gave you in previous classes as well. But now what happens here is these probabilities will indicate the likelihood of that rule being used when expanding this non-terminal, which means now the probability of a sentence to have this thing, that is a noun phrase followed by verb phrase, is 100%. And then noun phrase having a determiner followed by a noun is 50%, that is 0.5. And then a determiner in conjunction noun is 0.5%. And a verb phrase having a verb followed by a noun phrase is 0.6%, that is 60%, we can say. Or it is followed, this is the alternate. So verb phrase is defined in this way, verb followed by noun phrase. And the alternate we have is verb having a verb, that is 40%. Then the determiner is the being is 100%, and noun being the dog is 60%, cat is 40%, and the conjunction, sorry, adjective to be lazy is 100%, and whereas verb sees will be 100%. So this is the parsing with probabilistic context-free grammar. So multiple parse trees are possible for a given sentence, but the tree with the highest probability is selected. Sentence is the lazy dog sees the cat. Now let us parse tree one, that is noun phrase, determiner, adjective, and the noun, the lazy dog. So probability is, now from this particular this thing you can just derive this. And the parse tree 2 is verb phrase followed by, verb phrase is defined as verb followed by noun phrase. So sees the cat. So the probability is this. This is how we need to calculate. So then advantages. So this resolves ambiguity in context-free grammar by ranking parse trees suitable for probabilistic models in real-world NLP tasks. Applications are statistical machine translation, which helps in syntactic alignment, then speech recognition, resolves ambiguities in transcriptions, then question answering. That is, it selects syntactically probable answers. Then we have dependency grammar as the next thing. So what is dependency grammar? So dependency grammar represents the syntactic structure of a sentence as directed graph, where the words, that is tokens, are nodes and syntactic dependencies between words are edges. So what are the key features? So key features are, it focuses on word-to-word relations rather than phrase structures. Each sentence has a single root, that is the verb. Dependency specifies syntactic roles. Example, subject, object, and modifier. So let us look into the example. So the example sentence is, the dog chased the ball. So now we have to derive the dependency relations. So first, chased. So dog is the subject here, and chased the ball is an object here. Dog, the is determiner, and ball followed by the is a determiner. So the dependency tree representation would be in this way. So chased, which is the main verb we are talking, the dog and the ball. Got it? Right. Then the advantages and applications of these are given here. So application advantages are better for free word order languages and directly links semantics to syntax. Then applications in NLP, semantic role labeling, identifying actions and their participants. Relation extraction, extracting relationships. Example, company acquired another company. Machine translation, that is handling syntactic differences across languages. These are all the various applications in NLP for dependency grammar. Thank you, students.